Today we're playing some more Yargle, but this time in Modern. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Ado About Nothing. And this week, we're doing some more Yargling, but this time in Modern. We are playing some Modern Yargle Jund, and this deck is pretty ridiculous, so let's talk about what it's trying to do. Jump into a Modern League, see it in action. So we're built around our best friend, Yargle and Multani, the 6-mana 18/6 vanilla Frog Spear Elemental. And while we could theoretically play it and try to attack with it, we got another plan for Yargle. Our main plan in this deck is to discard it to Cremate Cremator. Cremate Cremator is a 4-mana 5/4. When it ETBs, you discard a random card. If you discard a creature this way, it deals damage equal to that card's power to target player. So the idea of this deck is we can use like Traverse Uvenwald to find either of our combo pieces, and we got a bunch of ways to get card types in our graveyard to turn on Delirium. But in our ideal scenario, the last cards in our hand will be the Cremate Cremator in the Yargle. So then when we play the Cremator, we know 100% that we're going to discard Yargle. We're going to throw 18 damage at our opponent's face in Modern with Fetch Lands and Shock Lands. That should just be game over on the spot. There's also times when we can't actually make this happen, and those are some of the most exciting times. Imagine we have like a Yargle in hand, but also a couple of lands when we play Cremate Cremator. There's a 33% chance that we discard the Yargle and win the game, but there's also a 66% chance that we discard a land and Cremator kind of does nothing. So there's a lot of interesting tension built into this deck because we can't always guarantee that we're going to discard the Yargle, so sometimes we just got to YOLO and hope for the best. The deck is also a little bit odd for a Jund deck because we need ways to fill our graveyard to turn on Traverse Uvenwald. So in the 1-drop slot, we got Dragon Rage Channeler to surveil things in the graveyard, Mishra's Bauble, Haywire Might, get artifacts in the graveyard, Fable the Mirror Breaker, it's an enchantment once it gets in the graveyard. Tarfire even gives us a tribal card in the graveyard. So along with turning on our Traverse to support our combo, these cards also help grow our Tarmogoyf, and the rest of our deck looks pretty typical Jundy. We got 4 Tarmogoyfs. See if it can be good in 2023. Used to be the best creature in Modern. Today, sometimes smaller than a Murktide or an Urza Saga token, but we will see. Our deck is pretty good at growing it because we have so many different card types. Ren and 6, Strong Planeswalker, some removal, some discard, mana base, pretty typical stuff outside of 1 Cavern of Souls to help make sure we can resolve our Cremator, or I guess if we end up hardcasting Yargle, resolve our Yargle through counters. In the sideboard, we get some removal, artifact destruction, more counter hate, some Blood Moon, some graveyard hate, Chalice of the Void, Damping Sphere for combo decks, and that is Yargle Jund for Modern. That's our Much Ado deck for this week, so let's jump into some games and see if Yargle is the way forward for one of Modern's most classic archetypes. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap up. Need some Yargles of your own? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/MTG Goldfish. Much Ado About Nothing time. We are Yargling this week, but in Modern, we're playing some Yargle Jund. And all right, Goyfs for days. Is Goyf a card in 2023? We about to find out. Is it as bad as Richard makes it sound? Wooded Foothills and Crack Wooded Foothills. Overgrown Tomb, probably? Haha, okay, we don't play Overgrown Tomb. Maybe Forest is correct, and then we can get a Swamp in the future. Yeah, let's just take a Forest in. Boom. The mighty power of Haywire Might. Go. Spire Bluff Canal and a Mishra's Bauble. We can might it, going to pass the turn. All right, opponent gets to draw a card. Well, we will go to combat. We should be able to run on a Goyf here. Bloodstained Mire, Crack It, Schwamp, and Tarmogoyf. If our opponent tries to bolt it, it will grow in response and stay alive. Ragavan. Play a Mountain, Fable the Mirror Breaker. Oh, opponent's playing Spell Pierce, okay. Wow, that does make Goyf big. I mean, I guess we smash it with the Goyf. If our opponent wants to, like, kill the Haywire Might to get in a hit with Ragavan, I guess we accept that. And then we followed up with Goyf number 2. Can Goyf win? Can Goyf actually win a game in 2023? Pitcher's a Blood Moon, which we have accidentally played around very well by fetching out these basics. Totally unintentionally, just kind of worked out that way. Opponent's got 3 types in the graveyard. So I guess if they attack with Ragavan, we block. This turns on Unholy Heat to be able to kill the Goyf. The good old red Terminate. Okay. That's a color pie break. Black Cleave Cliffs, eh? Well, we will play Goyf number 2 and a Black Cleave Cliffs and pass the turn. All right. I mean, we're seeing the problem with Goyf. When you give red 1-mana murders, cards like Goyf become much worse. Some days I miss the color pie. Back in my day, colors meant something. Murktide Regent. Opponent gets a 7/7 for 2. Traverse the Uvenwald. I don't think this does anything worthwhile, but we're going to cast it. Fury doesn't do anything. Goyf, as we saw, dies to everything. I think we take Yargle. I think we actually take Yargle and play a tap land. What this means is, if we can top deck a Cremator, we win with the combo. We play the land, Yargle's only card in hand, pitch it, win. We have 1.5 turns. We might have 2 turns, we'll see. Well, that's what we need. Traverse does it, just top decking Cremator does it. Well, Traverse probably does it. Traverse could get countered. We could run out Yargle, but that also dies to the red 1-mana murder. Opponent gets in for 7. You know what we want? We want the Cremator. We want the Cremator. Ledger Shredder. Come on, Magic Gods. Tarmogoyf. I mean, we're probably just dead, but we'll play the Goyf. I mean, we could die right here. 8/9, some combination of burn spells. Otherwise, we get 1 draw to find a Cremator. We could run out the Yargle, but it's not going to do anything, and it does die to Unholy Heat still. Top decking the Cremator would be hilariously awesome. Opponent, Snow-Covered Island. Ledger Shredder. All right, this is it. We have to top deck Kragenwick Cremator this turn. 4 out of 45. 4 out of 45 we win. Hits us for 9. Thankfully not in lightning bolt range. We're gonna leave back. Okay, gonna leave back the Ledger Shredder. Knock the top of our deck. Is it a Kragenwick Cremator for the steal? Oh my god, it is. Oh my god, it is. Ah, got him. Got him. Got him, got him, got him. Okay, we will name Giant. Praise Yargle. Yes, that's a Cremator. Try to MH2 us, will ya? We're gonna play Tarmogoyfs and throw a Yargle at your face. All the Ledger Shredders, all the Murktides, all the 1-mana red murders. None of it matters because Yargle's here. All right, we proved it. Yargle, more powerful than Modern Horizons 2. More powerful than the color pie. More powerful than expressive iteration. That is the power of a Yargle. Well, I mean, we definitely had to high roll. That was what, like a 8% or 7% or something to draw the Cremator. I guess Uvenwald, Traverse Uvenwald might have done it. So it might have been like 10, 12%. They could have another Spell Pierce, but we'll take it. We'll take it. What do we got in our sideboard for Murktides? Endurance seems reasonably effective. Is hers better? How much do we want to fight the graveyard in this matchup is the question. So like fighting the graveyard, what? Slows down Murktide basically? Probably not worth it. Haywire Might doesn't really, well, I guess it could answer a Blood Moon, but I'm expecting they're going to sideboard out their Blood Moons. We might want the Cavern. The Fatal Pushes seem worthwhile. We could bring in Hearse. Endurance is probably just better though, since it can also be like a surprise blocker. What are we cutting? We need to cut something. Do we cut Thoughtseizes? Thoughtseizes are kind of sketchy on the draw, aren't they? Like, our opponent plays Ragavan and then we Thoughtseize and just lose. That seems questionable. Do we cut the Tarmogoyfs? Do we cut the Fury? All right, let's try like that. Our plan is to do exactly what we did that game, which is complain about the color pie, Cremator, a Yargle. We will keep this. We actually have the full combo in hand, which is kind of spicy. And we can play around Blood Moon, which is also nice. Mishra's Bobble. Wouldn't mind drawing a Cavern. A Cavern to get around, oh boy. Wouldn't mind drawing a Fatal Push and or a Lightning Bolt or any other way to deal with this Ragavan. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. All right, looks like we're gonna take some Ragavan hits. That is very not good. Opponent, Polluted Delta, hits us. Yeah, down to 18. Opponent steals a land. We will crack the Catacombs. We will grab a basic forest. Play the Swamp and run out the Goyf. Resolves for now. Cracks, Polluted Delta. 18 is also kind of the magical number. If our opponent goes below 18, Cremator Yargle can just straight up win. Can the Goyf keep this Ragavan from hitting us the second time? I don't know if you ever beat getting hit by Ragavan twice. Once, sometimes. Twice, I don't know if you ever beat it. Come on, Goyf. Show these silly Modern Horizons kids what's up. Opponent. Ooh, passing. Okay. Well, let's just Stomping Grounds and pass. I think we want to flash in the Endurance here. I think we flash in the Endurance, and then that opens up possibilities for next turn. This also gives us another way to try to make sure we're not getting hit by the Ragavan, and potentially it slows down a Murktide. All right, Expressive Iteration. We do want our opponent to crack one more fetch. Opponent finds a bolt, plays a fiery islet. Okay. Oh, they're trying to turn on, I see. And then unholy heat? Oh, this endurance might be a blowout. Oh, oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, no, it's still gonna die, isn't it? Huh. All right, let our opponent surveil. Opponent's at 18. We could just YOLO it. The odds are not great, but we could. Pitches a spell snare. Well, okay. 1, 2, 3. Cast endurance. We're still gonna lose the Goyf, but we empty the graveyard. We're not going to lose the Goyf. Okay, that was even better. That was even better than I thought. Opponent passes. We untap. We draw Wooded Foothills. Oh, Fable gets Spell Pierced. Maybe Goyf is just better? I mean, I guess Fable getting Spell Pierced does grow. We could just Cremate her and hope. The odds are not great, though. Wooded Foothills. Yeah, play a Fable. If they Spell Pierce, they Spell Pierce. All right, opponent does Spell Pierce. This does get an enchantment in the graveyard, though. We will not be able to pay. All right, we will pass the turn. I mean, we're getting close to the combo kill. We would still like to draw the Cavern, but passing? All right, more expressive iterations. Well, opponent's drawn a lot of expressive iterations. Mills a land. I mean, I guess at some point we could try to win with Goyfs. Finds a Bauble, which is actually not the worst for us, because that does grow the Goyf. Opponent mills a land. And pass as well. Okay, Wooded Foothills, thin the deck. Grab a Stomping Grounds tapped. Opponent gets to draw. Well, let's play a Tarmogoyf. Do we have a counter spell? All right, opponent spends their counter spell. Copperline Gorge. What happens if we attack with Goyf? Yeah, I think we just pass this turn. I don't think we want to get hit by the Ragavan. Oh, we are close. We are super close. Oh, I still want to draw the Cavern though. I mean, the nice thing is we're going to get to the spot where we can always just kind of YOLO a Cremator if we have to. Here comes the Murktide. Gonna thin the graveyard. All right, deck, we're running out of time. We're running out of time. Mishra's Bauble. We'll play the Bauble. Play the Bloodstained Mire. Crack the Bauble, take a peek. Let's see what's on top of our deck. It's a mountain. Oh, do we have to go for it? Counterspell does just beat us. They already spent 1, but they've been surveilling like crazy. The problem is this Murktide's a fast clock. Yeah, I think we pass. I think we wait 1 more turn. We definitely crack this though. Crack the Bloodstained Mire. Grab a mountain. Next turn we got to go for it regardless because we're going to be dead. Opponent cracks the Islet, draws a card. We get to draw with the Bauble. Well, maybe the Bolt can get our opponent to tap down. Attacks with Murktide. I think we got a block, unfortunately. Come on, Cavern. Considers. Kill the DRC. Opponent lets it go. This is where the Thoughtseize would actually be good. We would accept a Thoughtseize here. Passing. Dragon Rage Channeler. Well, play Dragon Rage Channeler. Can we wait another turn, hoping to block? It's risky. Yeah, I think we pass. Oh, lightning bolts. Well, if they got another bolt, then I guess we're dead. Unholy Heats and gets in with the Ragavan and the Murktide, and we go to 1. Opponent steals. Oh my goodness, the stupid monkey. I guess maybe we just need to run it out and hope for the best. I guess maybe that's an argument for keeping Thoughtseizes in, isn't it? Now that feels bad because like, oh, we didn't even fire it off. I think we played it correctly. I think waiting, it's essentially a combo deck, and waiting as long as possible to have the combo be successful. Oh no, to have the combo be successful is typically the way you want to play a combo deck. I guess Fable just gets countered every time. Stomping Grounds, traverse the Uvenwald, get a swamp, Mishra's Bauble. Crack it, take a peek. Opponent's drawing Murktide. All right, well, pass the turn. We draw a Fatal Push. Okay, Fatal Push isn't bad. We still need to hit our lands, but Fatal Push is not bad. Polluted Delta if our opponent cracks it. Steam Vents untapped, and Dragon Rage Channeler. Colors of mana, awkward, can only do 1 thing. The problem is they can dash a Ragavan. This living though lets our opponent fill the graveyard for Murktide. I wish we had double black. This turn would be so easy if we had double black. I mean, I think we play the Goyf, pass the turn. Opponent's gonna get a turn with the DRC. Hopefully we draw some black mana. Hopefully draw mana period, but especially black mana. Passes. Land. Oh, that's not a land. That's not a land at all. Get in with the Tarmogoyf. Oh, game 1 was so sweet too. And Dress Down. I guess in that case, we have to Fatal Push the DRC. Dress Down also blows out our combo, so I guess I'm glad that's gone. Nothing happens. Pass the turn. Dress Down goes away. Tarmogoyf up to a 6/7, so it's actually outside of Unholy Heat range. Murktide is a concern. Not going to be the biggest Murktide, but it does shrink the Goyf and grow the graveyard. Steam Vents. Oh, and Licensed is interesting. Can we draw a land? Eat in the graveyard, and has an unholy, jeez, and has an unholy heat. Okay, land magic gods, land magic gods. Endurance, well, thought sees you. We will take the Murktide Regent, and pass the turn since we got nothing happening. Dragon Rage Channeler, and a tap land. Well, we know our opponent's hand. The question is, do we ever draw a land? Ever, ever, ever? All right, we have finally drawn a Magic the Gathering land card. They have Unholy Heat and Lightning Bolt. So if we try to flash an Endurance, they kill it. All right, let's Bloodstained Mire crack it. Oh, this hurts. Second Stomping Grounds, untapped. Run out the Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Get the Gobbo, pass the turn. Opponent, eat in the graveyards. I assume they cast a spell to Surveil here. Unholy Heat to kill the goblin. All right, Surveil's away a land. That could have been worse. Oh no, what a top deck. What a top deck opponent. We know our opponent's hand, it's just a lightning bolt, but our opponent peels the expressive iteration. That is kind of exactly what we needed not to happen. Finds a Ragavan. Yep, and casts the Ragavan so they can crew that licensors. Opponent goes to combat, and there's a bolt in hand. Yeah, expressive iteration, good card. All right, deck, we need the Yargle, we need the land. What's our best plan for staying in this game? We can flash an Endurance, but they still have the lightning bolt, so we still die. I think we just have to try to hit, oh, we gotta hit literally land Yargle. All right, well, discard Thoughtseize, discard Dragon Rage Channeler. Play the land on Giant. Oh, that expressive iteration top deck. Play the Cremator. Actually, is there any way we can stay alive without this? Endurance, shuffle your stuff back in. This gets small. We get bolted. We block here. They have a creature, we die. Yeah, I think this is the only option. So play the Cremator. Hope that we discard the Endurance. Oh, if we had hit the Yargle, we would have had a shot. Oh, we're just dead, yeah. All right, fair enough. Yeah, Cremator can't hit creatures, so I guess we're dead no matter what we do. Oh, that game one was so good. I mean, I guess that was a punt then, and we should have played the Endurance. For some reason, I was thinking this was any target, but it's not actually any target. It's only player or planeswalker. If we had played the Endurance, we Endurance, shuffle this in. Opponent has Bolt, so we're at 3, and we're dead to anything that can crew the unlicensed Hearse. So we're literally dead to any creature, dead to any burn spell. Yeah, so I guess that would have been the better play, considering I was thinking there was a chance we could high roll Cremator and kill the Dragon Rage Channeler, but game one though, game one. All right, I mean, we'll keep this. Control, this should be interesting. I mean, Kahira could be elementals, I guess. That might be just as likely. Let's see what we draw here. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Well, I think we Copperline Gorge, traverse Uvenwald for a swamp, and pass the turn. So we have the Yargle. We need to find the Cremator and resolve the Cremator. So we might also need to find Cavern. All right, we draw Blackcleave Cliff. So play Blackcleave Cliffs. Dragon Rage Channeler. Mishra's Bauble. Surveil with Channeler. Graveyard the Tarfire. Yeah, let's Thoughtseize. Surveil. Graveyard the Bolt. All right, opponent counters. All right, well, stopping our opponent's upkeep. Crack the Bauble. Teferi. Castle Ventress. Teferi. Bounces the DRC. Opponent's at 19. That's one life too much. We get to draw. Well, play Blackcleave Cliffs. Run out a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. And pass the turn. We need like a point of damage. We need a fetch land crack. Opponent's gonna tick up the Teferi. We need a fetch land cracked, and then Cremator can be lethal. So this could be Wandering Emperor. We draw a Yargle, discard a Yargle, and I guess that's it. Draw Wooded Foothills. Oh, they don't even have Wandering Emperor mana, do they? Thinking about March of Otherworldly Light, I think. Pitching. Okay, they evoke a Solitude. Gets rid of the Goblin. Dragon Rage Channeler. Swamp. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Surveil. Yeah, we'll mill the Yargle. I mean, we're looking for two specific things. We're looking for Cremator, and we're looking for a way to beat a counterspell. Memory Deluge for our opponent, perhaps looking for a Wrath. Prismatic Vesta ticks up to Fairy. Down to 18. What do we draw? Haywire Might. All right, well, we will discard and discard. Draw Fury. Okay, flip the Saga. Play a Mishra's Bauble. Surveil. Mill the land. There's the Wrath. So we will traverse, take Cavern of Souls. And do we even play the Cavern yet? Pass the turn, we can crack the bauble, see what our opponent's drawing. So all we gotta do really is, okay, gonna draw a Colonnade. Boy, we're close. We are close. Opponent takes up to Fairy. Passes. Dragon Rage Channeler. We flip the Saga. Do we have to play Fury on a non-Cremator, like on Elemental? Cavern on Giant. Run out Fury. See if our opponent has a counter. All right, well, kill the Teferi. Opponent gonna run out of Solitude. The life gain is a bit of an issue. We will pass the turn. The life gain's a bit of an issue because if our opponent has enough life, we don't win with the Yargle from the Cremator. So the Solitude gaining life is actually a issue. March of Otherworldly Light. I mean, opponent's down to 2 cards in hand. Only 2 cards. We've thinned our deck a lot. Our opponent's high enough life total, though, that we can't just win by flinging a Yargle. Lightning Bolt. Well, we will play a Dragon Rage Channeler. And we will play a Stomping Grounds tapped. And we will pass the turn. Stop on our opponent's upkeep. Bolt the Solitude. Surveil away the land. Has a counter. Opponent plays a land. Down to 1 card in hand. Goes to combat. Opponent passes. Ren and 6, which isn't the worst. Red, green. Play Ren and 6. Dragon Rage Channeler. Do we even want it? Yeah, let's put it on top for now. Tick up the red. Get back to Wooded Foothills. Play the land. Gets to doesn't surveil. Interesting. I was expecting a surveil there. Yeah, I think we shuffle away this Dragon Rage Channeler because we are kind of presenting lethal if we can find the Cremator. Opponent hits the red. Crack the Wooded Foothills. Get a Blood Crypt tapped. Oh, draw another random land. Get back the Wooded Foothills. Go to combat. Hit you with the Dragon Rage Channeler. Where are all of our Cremators? Wooded Foothills, go. But now our opponent gets to Flashback Memory Deluge. Oh no. This one I feel like it's slipping away. Wow, they're still not doing, why is our opponent not doing anything? They have Castle Vantress. Like our opponent has everything they need and they're not using it. Kills the red. Well, we have gotten essentially every land out of our deck. I guess there's some fetch lands, but we have done some aggressive deck thinning. So hopefully at some point we start drawing. There's 1, 2, I guess there's like 8 fetches still. Get a forest. Draw a Goyf. Hit you with the DRC. Opponent takes it. Play a super big Tarmogoyf. No Cremators in the top half of our deck. All right, remember that they have a Memory Deluge. Gonna do some tutoring. Our opponent's life total being so high is certainly an issue. The Solitude is keeping our opponent out of the danger zone. The problem is we don't really have a way to win outside of the combo. Like, we're not gonna beat this deck slowly beating them down one at a time. There's a Teferi. And putting our opponent to 3 just doesn't do anything. Like, that's the biggest issue. Like, putting our opponent to 3 is not helpful. Then they just still stabilize and win. Opponent hits us back up to 21, out of range of Yargle. Opponent passes. Dragon Rage Channeler. Well, we will play a Dragon Rage Channeler. Play another Dragon Rage Channeler. Sadly, no spell to follow it up. Well, pass the turn. Opponent. Oh, wait. Steals a Dragon Rage Channeler. Yeah, oh boy, not looking good. Plays a Scalding Tarn. Cracks a Scalding Tarn. Ticks up to Fairy. Another Solitude. And yeah, that does it. I mean, at this point, the only thing we're playing towards is the possibility. I mean, a little unfortunate that we cannot find. Where are these Cremators? Wow, they're all in the bottom 17. Okay, well, yeah, sometimes your deck doesn't line up in the way that you'd like. And that was one of those games. Okay, we'll bring in the Cavern. So the issue is our opponent being able to gain life. That is a pretty huge problem. We need our opponent to be at 18 for any of this to matter. And that is not that easy to do if our opponent has all this life gain. So bring in another Cavern. Oh boy. All right. I mean, we'll keep this. The Blood Moons could be good. I wish we could like Thought Seize and so forth. That would be helpful. Pass it. Mishra's Bauble. and a mountain, and crack the bauble. Take a peek. Opponent's drawing a Leyline Binding. Well, we will pass the turn. I don't even know if these Blood Moons are good unless we draw fetch lands. In a perfect world, we draw a couple of fetch lands and like fetch out a swamp in a forest, and then after Thought Seizing, Blood Moon. Okay, well there's swamp mana. That's helpful. Opponent plays Rafine's Tower. Passes. Well, I mean, we gotta go for it. Mishra's Bauble. Well, Verdant Catacombs. Crack Verdant Catacombs. Get a swamp. Get a swamp. Thought Seize you. Prismatic Ending. Play a Mishra's Bauble. Take a peek, see what our opponent's drawing. Big Teferi. Well, let's see what land our opponent plays. Scalding Tarn. We're gonna run out this Blood Moon. Fetch? No fetch. Well, play Cavern. Cavern on Shaman. Run out a Magus of the Moon. Opponent can get a basic. No white mana. We do know they have another island, so they can play the island and work towards the Memory Deluge to try to find an answer. Misty Rainforest, all right? Opponent, pass it. Dragon Rage Channeler. Well, get in for 2. Dragon Rage Channeler and Dragon Rage Channeler. Opponent untaps. I mean, hopefully we can just be aggro enough that if our opponent has to spend the turn Memory Deluging, we're still in good shape. I guess I can also use a Tuara. Well, 1, 2, 3, do some surveilling. Now we actually want to find, haha, okay, there's a Cremator. So we might be able to do it here, we'll see. We still need to resolve something next turn, but play the Blood Moon, leave the card on top, not turning on the Dragon Rage Channelers. Opponent's at 17 and about to drop lower. This gives us an extra layer of protection. I think there's a chance we get the combo kill. So play the Black Cleave Cliffs. I don't think there's much of a downside to attacking here. You know what? Let's leave back the Magus. I don't think they're playing Snapcaster, but you never know. We want 2 Blood Moons here. All right, opponent untaps. So I guess what we're kind of hoping for is our opponent, basically that our opponent taps out. There's a Memory Deluge. Opponent goes digging. We have the Cremator on top. Our hand is all Yargles, so we have 18 damage next turn. About it, untaps. Oh, so I could still have counter mana? Do we even go for it? Attack you. Takes the beats down to 11. I don't think we go for it yet. Pass the turn. Memory Deluge. The funny thing is now we actually kind of want the Blood Moons to go away because then it turns on our Cavern and then we win. Don't it? Memory Deluge number 2. So we're kind of hoping our opponent like finds a Wrath and taps out or something. Passes. Discards to hand size. I mean, I guess they're playing a lot of non-basics to turn on Leyline Binding, but opponent not having much luck finding functional sources of mana here. Well, 1, 2, and 3. Fable the Mirror Breaker. Do a bit of surveilling. Oh, I think we actually got to mill it. Graveyard. Fable resolves. Did not manage to turn on the DRCs. Attack with everything. Cycles a Shark Typhoon. Okay, so there goes one of our Blood Moons. But that's fine, that's fine. We're okay with the Blood Moons dying now. That turns on the DRCs. Opponent untaps. Oh, they still have a Tuara, don't they? They do, so they can bounce a Blood Moon. So much disruption. You would think this combo would be easier just to fire off, but good lord, is there a lot of disruption. Opponent, Mystic Gate. Passing. Discard a Yargle. Draw a card. DRC. Go attacking. Get a treasure. Blocks a DRC. Sure. Play a Dragon Rage Channeler. Would you like to counter it? No. And pass the turn. Get out of it if you can. So opponent can bounce the Blood Moon. I assume our opponent's got to be wrathing here. Nothing else really makes sense. The Blood Moon in hand's actually kind of awkward just because we could accidentally discard it to Cremator. Archmage's Charm to steal the Goblin. Well, okay. Then I guess we kill the Shark and do some surveilling. Lightning Bolt Graveyard. Bloodstained Mire. 1, 2, 3, 4. Graveyard. All right, opponent. Yeah, the Shark down. Opponent steals our Goblin. Plays a tap land. Leyline Binding. Going after Dragon Rage Channeler. Are we gonna have to 50-50 shot it? That feels so bad. Opponent takes a DRC. I mean, we know they have to Fairy. Leyline Binding. Getting rid of that Blood Moon has turned on our opponent's hand to some extent. Goes to combat. Gets in with the Goblin. Makes a treasure. Well, can we find a way to get empty-handed? That is the question. Down to 15. Plays to Fairy. Untaps and draws. I mean, maybe we just gotta go for it. I guess we'll see what we draw. All right, well, flip the Saga. Cast Traverse. I mean, we got to go for it. Take the Yargle. This ups our odds. Now that we have 2, we would have to really low roll here to not get lethal. Craigan with Cremator. Uncounterably. Target your face. Come on, Magic Gods. Come on, Magic Gods. Oh, okay. We hit one of the Yargles and we got there. Well, it took a while. It took until turn 9, but we did end up getting the combo kill. I mean, part of what makes this exciting, I guess, is there is some whiff potential. Like 33% of the time we discard the Blood Moon there and kind of get wrecked. The Blood Moons did work there. I mean, I guess this is the setup. Run it back. Run it back. I mean, we have played some long, close, interesting games. I'll give the deck that. No Blood Moon, but we do have a Thoughtseize. We have the Cavern for the Cremator. If we can find a Yargle, we might be able to actually combo off pretty early this game. Opponent starts with a tapped land. Yargle off the top. Dragon Rage Channeler. Play the Blood Crypt. Play the Dragon Rage Channeler. Play the Mishra's Bauble. I think we keep the Blood Moon. It was very good last game. Well, not gonna crack the Bauble yet. We can potentially get more value out of it next turn with this fetch. Prismatic Vesta. Draw the Blood Moon. Thoughtseize. Surveil away the land. Opponent's gonna counter. Opponent gets an island. Counter spell. Well, let's bobble ourselves. Look at the card. Stomping Grounds. Well, in that case, Verdant Catacombs. Crack the Verdant Catacombs. Forest. Hit you for 1. Opponent down to 18, which is an important number. It's a Wooded Foothills. Opponent passing. We draw. Same thing, play the Bauble. Surveil. I think we're all in on the combo here. Magus of the Moon to the graveyard. Target ourselves. We're just looking for the Yargle. Okay, we don't really want that. Play the Wooded Foothills. Hit you for 3. Crack the Wooded Foothills. Stomping Grounds. Run out the Blood Moon. Do you have another counter? We're gonna keep the Goyf. Counter spell number 2. Well, opponent's drawing the counters. We get to draw the Goyf. Come on, Yargle. Opponent passing. Thoughtseize. Well, Thoughtseize you. I mean, how many counters can they possibly have? Mill the Bloodstained Mire. Do we finally get a peek? Wow, Pitches of Solitude. Sure. Really wants to get rid of that DRC. Well, now we Thoughtseize. Yeah, take the counter spell, and I guess this is a Goyf game. Cavern. Shaman. Tarmogoyf. Gonna party like it's 2014 with some Goyfs and John. Desperation cycling the Shark Typhon. I mean, drawing Yargle would be so sweet. We've done a lot of digging to try to find it. They kept hand with a lot of counters though. Lots of counters. Oh, and a bonus scoop. Was it a Yargle on top? Oh, it was a Yargle on top. Oh, a win's a win. We will accept the win. Although, boy, if our opponent let us untap, we were gonna throw that Yargle at their face. All right, sweet. Oh, we need lands. I think we got a mulligan. You know what? I think we keep a 0-lander. These Mishra Baubles better save us or else. Passes. And land off the top, please. Okay. Well, life is a little bit better now. Grounds untapped. Dragon Rage Channeler. Mishra's Bauble. All right, well, we'll keep the land and pass the turn. We got a plan. Whether or not we can execute the plan, that remains to be seen, but we got the Cremator. So we need a bit more mana. And we need to find the Yargle. Demolition Field. All right, so opponent Cabal Coffers by the looks. Swamp for our opponent. So we draw 2. We know one of them's a land, which we need. We also got to be aware of this deck being able to gain life. It does have a lot of life gain effects, and it does not really play fetch lands. All right, so we draw the land. Well, for keeping a 0-lander, we're kind of getting there. Mishra's Bauble. Wooded Foothills. Opponent. We will bobble ourselves. See if we want to crack the fetch. All right, we will not. And draw a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Okay, that's reasonable. Crack Wooded Foothills. Opponent's going to Demolition Field, so we'll float a mana. Swamp. Wooded Foothills gets us a Stomping Grounds. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Make a Goblin. Copperline Gorge go. There is some world where we could win next turn. Going to really aggressively attack our lands. Thankfully, we do have a decent number of basics. Yeah, grab the mountain. It is tempting to just fire off these bolts. It would be greedy. I think we do it. Lightning bolt you. At least one of them. Okay, we'll fire off one bolt. Yargle. Haywire Might. We'll discard Haywire Might and also Cremator. Get a treasure. All right, well, Thought sees you. I mean, I guess we just take the invoke. Play the land. So our opponent can play card in tutor, but we can just bolt it. And we're to the point where if we ever manage to just top deck Yargle, we just win. Opponent, Karn takes it down. Yargle off the top for lethal would be so sweet. Engineered explosives. And opponent's going to play it on 0. Okay. And going to pass. Well, okay, we will bolt the Karn. Bloodstained Mire Crack, thin the deck. Blood Crypt. Come on, Yargle. Come on, Yargle. Ren. Okay, well, we flip the Saga. We go to combat, we hit our opponent. Make a treasure. Ren. Get back a Stomping Grounds. Play the Stomping Grounds. Opponent. Swamp. Field of Ruins. Well, we get our last basic. Thin in the deck's good. Thin in the deck's good. Explosives. Blows up a bunch of stuff. Thought sees. Well, okay, Ren, get back the Blood Crypt. This Ren has been undoing all these Field of Ruins, which is nice. Thought sees our opponent. Oh boy, okay. New, much more boring plan, I think. Blood Crypt untapped, Cremator. I mean, nothing to discard. We're still live to drawing Yargle because of the reflection. I mean, since our opponent has nothing in hand, I think we just want to try to close out this game as quickly as possible. So we just make a hasty Cremator. And this basically means our opponent needs to top deck this turn. Although if our opponent top decks Invoke Despair, that would be pretty bad. All right, opponent goes to 8. Oh, let's see what they draw. This is the turn. They got to top deck something big. Opponent, 3 lands in hand. Did they top deck something big to get out of this? No. All right, opponent and another land. Well, okay, we got there. Are we actually bringing in the Blood Moons? Probably. It feels so weird, but I think it's actually correct. Like, Blood Moon's in to shut down the Cabal coffers. And then I guess we just try to kill the Karns? Is Haywire Might worth it? Probably. Haywire Might in the main deck has not really done much of anything. Go down the Haywire Mites. I guess the Tarfire. Can we still turn on Traverse? I guess. Not super easy, but all right, run it like that. On the draw against Mono Black Coffers. That was a win. Like, copying Cremator, I guess, is kind of cool. It's hard to find the Yargle. Even when we win, we've not always been able to do it with the combo. Sometimes it's just piecing it together with the janky combo pieces, but separately. But I mean, well, we'll take it. It would be sweet to get the Yargle beatdown win. I don't know how likely that is. All right, we'll try this. Schwamp. Pass in. Oh boy, we actually have the full combo here. Play Mishra's Bauble. I guess we can wait until next turn. Bloodstained Mire. Crack it. Swamp. Thought sees you. Yeah, I guess we'll just take the card draw. So we do gotta be aware of the march. That is a thing that can gain our opponent life in response to our combo. Opponent. Passing. We also want to be careful about fetching out too many basics because our opponent's playing a lot of Field of Ruins. Another Yargle. Well, all right, Bauble, target ourselves. We need a land. Goyf. Well, Vern Catacombs. Stomping Grounds tapped. Yeah, we don't really want to draw the Goyf here. We want to draw lands. We need lands to get to the combo to win the game. Mishra's Bauble. Well, Ren. Close, but no cigar. We still need a land. Opponent plays 8 Demolition Field. Going to activate the Demolition Field. Mountain. Come on, deck. This Ren and 6 would be huge. Land. Oh, no. Okay. This is looking not super good because we're missing land drops. Oh, finds a card or anyway. Night's Whispers. Plays a Swamp. Can we draw 8 Magic the Gathering land card? No. Well, bolt your face? Pass the turn. Oh no! We actually for once have the full combo, but we can't actually do anything with it. Field of Ruin for our opponent. Full combo, but nothing to do. Oh no! It's slipping away quickly here. This was actually our chance. Yeah, I think this one's just over. Oh, I thought this was gonna be the one. I thought this was gonna be the Yargle Cremator win, but our opponent's drawn their good cards, and we are not. Blood Chief's Thirst to kill the Dragon Rage Channeler, and Profane Tutor suspended. We need to draw land this turn to have any shot. I guess that is magic for you. Sometimes you just don't draw lands. We'll discard a Blood Moon. Taking down Profane Tutor. I mean, the Profane Tutor is GG. We can't really do anything about that. Yeah, I guess bolt your face. Down to 12, untap. Land? No. All right, good enough. Sometimes you just never draw land. Oh, that was gonna be the combo kill too. Bloodstained Mire, crack Bloodstained Mire. Stomping Grounds, traverse the Uvenwald. Swamp. I mean, we got the combo again. We do have the combo again. We do need our opponent to take some damage though, one way or another. Opponent swamp. And Relic of Progenitus. Doesn't actually do anything against us, but it is a redraw for our opponent. Mishra's Bauble. Play the Bauble. Bloodstained Mire. How do we get 2 points of damage on our opponent? How do we do it? Opponent. Swamp. Well, that's 2 points of damage. Okay. Well, we will Mishra's Bauble, target ourselves. Magus of the Moon. Okay. I don't even know if we actually want Magus of the Moon. I think we're going to shuffle that away. Crack the Bloodstained Mire, get a Blood Crypt. Tapped. Untap. Play Blackleaf Glyphs. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Oh. Opponent. Gonna keep exiling. Sure. We make the Goblin. Pass the turn. Oh, we could just go for the high roll. It's so risky. Opponent could also have life gain. Opponent. Swamp. And Bloodchief's Thirst. Going to pass. Wooded Foothills. Discard a Cremator. Discard a Swamp. Play the land. Oh, do we just go for it? I mean, I think we have to. I think we have to just go for it. Crack it. Stomping Grounds. Untapped. I mean, we could wait for our opponent to tap out. How does this go wrong? It goes wrong if our opponent has life gain. That's the most obvious way. On the other hand, if we wait, our opponent could draw Thoughtseize. I mean, I guess it's also possible we discard the Wooded Foothills and cry. You know what? I think we wait. Opponent cashes in the Relic. Because there's things like Karn that would have our opponent tap out here. That makes our life even better. Okay, there's the, okay, that's what we wanted to see. Okay, so there's, oh my goodness, there's gonna be a 25% chance that we fail. Opponent, Karn, tutors, sure. So there's a 25% chance that, oh boy, if we low roll here, I'm gonna cry. So we can play the land, we can play the Cremator, we're gonna have one, I mean, we could draw one drop. That would be the best. Liquid Metal Coating. One drop is the best. Any one drop, just to make sure Yargle's only card in our hand. We draw. We flip the Saga. We play Wooded Foothills. I mean, 75% of the time, it works every time. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Kragenweek Cremator. Target our opponent. Yargle them. Xaxes from 18. The beauty of Yargle. Opponent says, beep, LOL. No one expects it. No one expects the Yargle. Sweet, sweet. I don't think we can keep this. I mean, we do have a Dragon Rage Channeler. Only one land, though. Can Tarmogoyf win in 2023? We're going to put a mountain to the bottom. All right. Yeah, let's just Blackleaf Cliffs and Thoughtseize. We're on the clear the way for Thoughtseize, or clear the way for Tarmogoyf plan. They don't have a way to equip the hammer. If they draw a way to equip the hammer, we're very sad. The Solitude can eat a Goyf. Plus, Stoneforge gets another hammer. Yeah, I think we just take Solitude. Pass the turn. Hopefully kill our opponent before they find a way to get the hammer on a creature. Ooh, Amiria. Yup, Esper Sentinel. I mean, the other issue with this is, we'll see, if they're playing like Calder Complete, that would be a problem. Ooh, all right, less of a problem. So, Bloodstained Mire, crack Bloodstained Mire. Grab a Stomping Grounds and Tarmogoyf. I mean, this is some classic Jund action here. If they Stoneforge Calder Complete, we gotta Thoughtseize it. So it's a Urza Saga. Well, that was our opponent's draw for one of those turns. Here's a Stoneforge. If it's another hammer, I think we can let it go. All right, it is Calder Complete. If we draw a land, we can DRC and then Thoughtseize. Otherwise, I don't think we can let our opponent draw a card here. Oh, it's Constructs. Constructs could end up, probably will end up bigger than Tarmogoyf, won't they? All right, traverse the Uvenwald. Pay the 1. Get a Swamp. Play the Swamp. Thoughtseize. Take the Cauldron Complete and get in with the Goyf. Ooh, opponent drew a land too. That's actually big because it lets them make Saga Constructs. Gonna block with the Stoneforge Mystic or not. All right, opponent down to 13. We're still multiple draws away from being able to combo kill. Ornithopter. I mean, I assume they're gonna try to make constructs. Their hand is what? Hammer Sentinel? Hammer Sentinel? Hammer Sentinel unknown, that makes sense. Goes attacking. Attack with the Tarmogoyf. Gonna take the beats down to 9. Tarmogoyf. Dragon Rage Channeler. And land. Yeah, that's what we got. Shields are down. Can we beat the constructs? Constructs with lifelink are the biggest issue. We could really use some removal. Opponent. Construct. And tutor out an artifact to grow the constructs. We need multiple pieces at this point. Opponent. Yeah, construct. And then Shadow Sphere. Opponent found the line. Well, this does put an enchantment in the graveyard, doesn't it? Oh, they get a spring? Interesting. I was expecting something better than that. Okay, opponent. Esper Sentinel. Those constructs are so big. Probably lethally big. Opponent gonna go attacking. That's a lot of artifacts. All right, I guess we got a chump. Yeah, not looking great. Tarmogoyf is kind of a joke in 20. I always thought Richard was being dramatic when he talked about how Tarmogoyf was like so incredibly bad. I think we're seeing an example of how Tarmogoyf is just not very good in 2023. We're just dead, right? We have to double chump block. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can Thoughtseize, but yeah, we are just dead. Pay the one. Oh, it's so funny. Modern is such a hilarious format. Like, there was a time when Thoughtseize was like the absolute best thing going in the format, the all-star, synonymous with the format. Our opponent played a single land and just absolutely trumped our Tarmogoyfs. Like, they played an Urza Saga. That's it. They played an Urza Saga and a bunch of 1-power creatures, and our Tarmogoyfs do nothing. Like, they're just way smaller than a land. What a world we live in. All right, Shattering Spree, Fatal Push In, maybe Chalice of the Void. Oh, it's probably not even worth it, is it? Haywire Might's actually decent. Fury's decent. We really need the combo. I think. We learned there that double Thoughtseize, double Tarmogoyf, the 2015 nut draw, definitely not a nut draw anymore. I mean, Ren actually does some, are we cutting Goyfs? Is that the world we live in? I wish this deck was more consistent in assembling the combo. We might have to try like an Eldritch Evolution version of Cremate or Yargle at some point, because the combo has been game ending. The problem has been, how do we actually get it set up? And that's been our biggest issue, is just like, actually being able to find the combo pieces. I mean, I guess we can't say too much. We're 2-1, so that we're winning. We got the DRC. Opponent's keeping 7. That's less than optimal. We had a couple of bolts, which is our defense. We got a Tarmogoyf, which, as we learned yesterday, last game, not gonna actually do a whole lot probably, but Esper Sentinel. This is a hand where we'd really love to find a Cremator. And a Paradise Mantle. Opponent's trying to get some artifacts on the battlefield. Opponent passes. We draw a land. Wooded Foothills. Crack Wooded Foothills. Stomping Grounds. Untapped. Bolt the Esper Sentinel. Get it off the battlefield. Haywire Might we will keep. That actually seems relevant in this matchup. Get in and hit ya. Down to 19. Remember, the magic number is 18. 18 is what Cremator Yargle deals if we get to it. Well, we can actually just exile that. Haywire might be doing some work here. So we draw Haywire Might, play a Bloodstained Mire, painfully crack a Bloodstained Mire to get another Stomping Grounds. Untapped. Haywire Might. Exile the Saga. Opponent. Whoa. Blacksmith Skill. I don't think I've ever seen that used to defend an Urza Saga before, but apparently that is a legal line. We need a land and we need a Cremator. Taking up the Saga. Oh, what a blowout. Opponent. Gonna pass and start making constructs. We draw. Well, there's the land. All right, so that means we just need to draw the Cremator. If we top deck Cremator next turn, we win. Opponent takes the beats. Play a Tarmogoyf. I think we have to kill the construct, play the tap land, pass the turn. We get to surveil too, which is relevant. So opponent's gonna make a construct. I think we just kill it while they're tapped out. Okay, so there's the construct. We will bolt the construct. I'm pretty sure we mill any non-Cremator card. Wow, opponent fires off a Solitude to kill the Goyf. All right, gonna kill the Goyf. Sure. Well, we surveil. Land definitely going to the graveyard. Construct down. Can we draw a Cremator? Opponent. Are we making a construct? Sure. Cremator. We need the Cremator. Traverse can do it over the course of 2 turns. Plays an Ink. Are we just going to die to Pure Steel? Is that what's about to happen? Opponent equips. I mean, if they have Pure Steel, we die. That's the wrong one deck. I think we're just dead. The way our opponent played this, it seems like they have Pure Steel in hand and we're about to die. Urza Saga. Pure Steel? Yep. Could not find the Cremator. Do they go for it? Looks like maybe no. Or do they change their mind and decide yes? Okay, this is it. We get one draw. And that draw has to be Cremator. 4 out of 46. That's the only card that matters. That's the only, I guess Shattering Spree would matter a little, but come on, Yargle. Smile upon your children. You can do it. You can, oh, come on, deck. Oh, it's a Cremator. It's a Cremator. It's a Cremator. Oh, sweet mother. Wow. Yes. Target your face. Oh my goodness. We needed the high roll. Wow. Okay. Thank you, Yargle. praise be to Yargle. Okay. Okay. We got there though. We got there. That is all that matters. Yeah. I think we actually want the other Haywire Might. What do we cut though? It can't really be Tarmogoyf, is it? I guess Thoughtseize is sketchy on the draw against Esper Sentinel. We found the Cremator just in a nick of time. I mean, that's the power of the deck, I guess, is we have the possibility of drawing the Cremator and winning the game. Like that's the upside, is that can happen. Could get severely punished, but it's a good hand assuming we hit a land or two. Assuming we hit a land or two, this hand's pretty good. Opponent, Esper Sentinel, passes, land. Yes, okay. Copperline Gorge, Dragon Rage Channeler. We have the combo in hand too, which is kind of huge. We do need our opponent to take 2 at some point, but opponent adapts. We draw Traverse. How do we do this? This is interesting. Bloodstained Mire. You know what? I think we attack. We're kind of okay with this trade at this point, I think. Get in with the DRC. See if our opponent does anything. Well, okay, we will crack Bloodstained Mire. Blood Crypt. Play Haywire Might. And this time, since we saw the Blacksmith skill thing, we're going to pass. We're going to go to our opponent's upkeep. Use the Haywire Might. So if our opponent wants to save this, sure. Oh, they gain hexproof anyway. So our opponent saves their Urza Saga, but this also means our opponent cannot make a construct this turn. So we have minimized the damage, silent clearing for our opponent. Sigarda's Aid. Just going to run out the hammers and a Ginger Brew. Okay, no hammer. Sure. We will take it. What do we draw? That's the biggest question. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. All right, so we need to traverse the Uvenwald. Oh, no. Okay, we got to go to post-combat main phase. We want this DRC back on defense this turn. So we got to go to post-combat main phase. No attacks. Traverse the Uvenwald. Pay the 1. Surveil doesn't really matter. Blackleaf Cliffs. Yeah, I guess we'll keep it on top. It's getting shuffled away. Then we grab a Swamp. Play the Swamp, pass the turn. Urza Saga. We're going to make the construct first. Okay. So opponent makes the construct, loses the Saga, targets the Ginger Brew. So we need to Fatal Push the Ginger Brew. Unfortunately, our opponent gets to draw a card. DRC going to the graveyard. We still want to land. We would love to pay the 1, but that is not possible. Well, we're not dead yet. Opponent. Passing. We draw a Goyf. Renin 6. Pay the 1. Thoughtseize. I think has to go graveyard. Renin 6 down. Pick up Renin 6. Get back the Bloodstained Mire. We need the land. Play the land. Gotta attack, unfortunately. Hopefully we're not dead. Opponent down to 14. We would like an extra turn of setup to get the Goyf and the Fable out of our hand. I don't know if we're gonna get it. Is it Pure Steel? Oh no, that's bad. Equips the hammer. We're not dead. Oh, we're gonna need to high roll. Opponent goes attacking. Hits us down to 3. The odds are not in our favor. Opponent moves it over. Bloodstained Mire cracked. Stomping Grounds. Traverse. I mean, we can't beat Surge of Salvation if they have another one. There's 5 card types in the graveyard. I mean, I think this is all we can do. So is there any way we can like chump block through the turn? It would be super risky. We could try to like play a Goyf, play a Fable, try to chump block. It seems like a stretch. Okay, Renin 6. Get back Bloodstained Mire. We don't get back Bloodstained Mire. Okay, what we do is traverse the Uvenwald. Actually, yes, we do get back. Wait, we gotta actually math this out. So we get back the land, we play the land, we traverse for a Yargle. Okay, so Renin 6, get back Bloodstained Mire. Play Bloodstained Mire. Go to combat. I guess Solitude would be the blowout too. There's several blowouts, but we don't really have a choice. We need to high roll with the Cremator, and then we need our opponent not to have a way to ruin it. So Bloodstained Mire cracked down to 1. Get the Mountain. Traverse the Uvenwald. Our opponent gets to draw a Magic the Gathering card. We will not pay 11 mana. I guess to the graveyard, doesn't really matter. So we grab another Yargle. I mean, this is the game. Either the combo works or it doesn't work. Either it's the most spectacular high rolliest win or we got hammer time. All right, there's a Yargle. 1, 2. So 50-50 that we discard the right card, and then we need our opponent not to have something. Spin it to win it. Spin it to win it. Yes! 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 Oh, that was a 50-50 shot. And, well, the magic god smiled upon Yargle, and the kids are eating. We're up to 3-1. Wow, this deck, you gotta, I guess, play it with no fear. That one match we lost earlier where we just didn't play it, that's the one I regret. You just gotta play it with no fear and hope for the best. And, well, sometimes Yargle and Multani give you a bit of luck. Sweet. Sand is Jundi. Well, we'll keep it. Not very Yargle-y at the moment, but Tarmogoyf, the hero of Modern, almost as big as a Urza Saga construct. Almost. Not quite, but it tries hard. Maybe we need battles. Maybe we need some battles in our deck so Goyf can get even bigger. Steam Vents untapped. Well, I mean, we have a Bolt, so we can't answer a stupid monkey. Yeah. Ooh, Fury too. Well, Wooded Foils, crack Wooded Foils, get the Blood Crypt. And I mean, we gotta kill the Ragavan. Fury's kind of interesting, maybe-ish. I'm glad we have the Cavern. The Cavern means if we can actually assemble our combo, it's not gonna get countered, which is nice. That is actually pretty relevant against Murktide. Well, Blood Crypt and kill the monkey. Pass the turn. How has Ragavan been in Historic Brawl? I've been hearing some people talk about it. It seems like it would be very strong in a 1v1 commander format because you always have it on turn 1. And turn 1 Ragavan's pretty absurd. The argument against it would be you got to be mono red, which is not the strongest color. Oh, it's like a prowess deck. Okay. And a DRC. That is a pile of 1-drops. The opponent goes to combat, gets and hits us. A Thoughtseize. Well, we might just have to do some Thoughtseizing here. I wish we had a red card. We would definitely Fury. Well, Thoughtseize you. Swift Spear in 2 Underworld Breaches. I'll take the Swift Spear. Stomping Ground's tapped. I wonder if our opponent just plays a Breach to trigger Prowess. Pass the turn. Ooh, that's a very good draw for our opponent. Opponent hits a Consider off the top. That is problem. Opponent leaves it on top. I imagine it's a land. We really want a red card for Fury. That's what we need the most. Opponent gets and hits us down to 11. That is a red card. Okay, play the Tarmogoyf. Actually, let's just do this now. Fury. Sadly pitched the Fable of the Mirror Breaker, but we gotta do it. Kill the Dorks. 2 to you, 1 to you. Wrath the board. Cavern. Shaman. Run out Tarmogoyf. I guess we just pass. Pass the turn. Opponent might have to do a little mini Breach action here to rebuild. Breach and just recast a creature. And then hopefully we can Thoughtseize a second Breach. And hopefully we draw our combo pieces. That would be nice. All right, here's the mini Breach. What are they casting though? Dragon Rage Channeler maybe? DRC kind of makes the most sense because it lets our opponent fill the graveyard for the second Breach that they don't know we're about to Thoughtseize. Everything else kind of just gets blocked by a Goyf anyway. Okay, there's the DRC. And opponent, Steam Vents. I don't know why they played that untapped. We know their last card is another Breach. Loses the Breach. We draw nothing. Well, I mean, we're definitely Thoughtseizing the Breach. Play the land. Go to combat. I mean, I guess the race is on. Hit ya. Sax the land to draw a card. Best card in the deck. Expressive Iteration. Oh, they're going to turn this on too, aren't they? All right. Opponent, DRC, draws some cards. Oh, this is going to be close. This is going to be really close. We definitely could use a piece of action here of some kind. Opponent finds a bauble, plays a land, plays another Dragon Rage. Oh, dear. Okay. Expressive Iteration's pretty good. Now I don't know how we can win because we're dead next turn and our opponent leaves it on the top. Jeez. Jeez Louise, opponent goes to combat, gets in. Down to 6. I mean, crack the land. I'm not sure what we can draw that matters here, though. I'm not, honestly not sure we have a card that matters. I don't believe we do. I mean, I guess we have to draw a removal spell that can kill a Dragon Rage Channeler to have any chance of staying alive. That's the, like, sort of chance. Oh, we even dealt with the breaches, too. Unfortunate that our opponent top decked the expressive iteration. Traverse doesn't actually do anything, and that does it. We don't have a way to block these flyers. We got rid of both of our opponents' Underworld breaches, but then they managed to spin right into that expressive iteration to refuel pretty quickly. That was not ideal. Not ideal. We're gonna bring in the chalices. Chalice on 1 is really good against our opponent's deck. Unfortunately, it's also pretty good against our deck, which is awkward. It doesn't stop the combo. Actually, is it worth it? Maybe we can't even chalice. Yeah, I don't think we can actually do it, unfortunately. As tempting as it is, I don't think we'd actually do it. So we'll just bring in some more removal, bring in the graveyard hate, probably like Thought Seizes, I guess. Do we want the other cavern? Although Thought Seize does stop, maybe the Thought Seizes are kind of necessary. We do need to stop the Underworld breach. Like, that's not good for us. Could bring in Hearses. Maybe Hearse is the way to go. Hearse also can stop an Underworld breach. Yeah, maybe go down a Goyf. Miss the good old Goyf days. Oh, Goyf, it tries hard. It tries very hard. I wonder if they'll ever try to print like 2023 Goyf. What would that even look like? Trample, hexproof, power and toughness double the amount of card types in the graveyard. Let me know in the comments. Like, if you wanted to make a Goyf that was once again the best creature in Modern, what would that look like? I mean, we're gonna keep this. Unclear how good it'll be, but I mean, we got the Cremator. We actually have Graveyard Hate, which shuts down some stuff, although none of this stops us from just getting run over by a super aggro 1-drop start. It's not like we have any removal. So like if our opponent just plays a Ragavan or something, it is off to the races at the moment. Well, okay, Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt's not bad. Lightning Bolt is something we can use to stop a Ragavan, which actually matters. Our opponents should get themselves down under 18. Like, they have enough fetches and pain lands that should be fine. We'll see if we can find the Yargle and resolve the Cremator. Opponent, Flooded Strand, passes, draws a card. No 1-drop is good. Well, Blackleaf Cliffs and Unlicensed. Flooded Strand, Steam Vents, tapped. No dashing Ragavans, please. Unlicensed to their own. Okay, graveyards officially shut down. I mean, that's kind of fine though. We get to play the Fable, which is good. We are going to start exiling graveyards here. Goyf is going to be very bad this game. Exile. Well, play a forest. Fable of the Miabrega. And pass turn. Yep, want to exile some stuff. They can't go off this turn, right? Let's actually get in for 2. We want to make sure our opponent's low enough on life that we can Yargle them. All right, hit you to 17. I think that's worth it. We want to make sure Cremator Yargle actually is deadly. And now it is. If we find the Yargle and discard it, we got him. We can also go digging, technically, with the Fable to try to find the Yargle. I'm really not sure, like, do we hold on to these Lightning Bolts? They do seem good against our opponent's deck. Scalding turn. All right, opponent decides not to go for the expressive iteration. Oh, are we going to get Blood Moon? No, they wouldn't do that. That would wreck them. All right, Seasoned Pyromancer. Pretty good. Bobble and Breach discarded. Sure. Passes. What are we going to discard? Oh, they're just going to eat. All right. Clean in the graveyard. Well, we untap. We draw a Bobble. Discard a Bobble. Discard a Lightning Bolt. Well, go to combat. Get in with a Goblin. Make a Treasure. Well, I think we're actually just going to bolt one of the elementals. Keep our Goblin alive. Hearse number 2. Verdant Catacombs. Pass the turn. Where's the Yargle? Oh, Goyf's looking worse and worse by the second. Really don't want to draw Goyf. That would be very bad. Look at all these Hearses. That'd be the worst draw. I'm kind of surprised our opponent brought them in. I guess they're afraid of our Goyf, but opponent. Pyro. Sure. Down to 17. Shredder. We got a spell for Conniving. You know what would be a good draw this turn? Yargle would be a sweet draw. It would be the GG draw opponent going to kill our Goblin and Connive. Discards a dress down. Well, I'm glad that's gone. Well, exile. This hearse is getting big though. Oh, all right. Well, hearse battle. We will exile with the other hearse. So Goblin token down. Actually, you know what? Let's crack our fetch. Thin the deck. Shuffle Yargle to the top. Hopefully. Come on, Yargle. Grab the tap land. 4 out of 45. 4 out of 45 we win this turn. Fizzles it. Kills the Goblin. Sure. Here we go. Opponent plays a tap land. We untap and we draw. Traverse the Uvenwald. Wow, this graveyard hate's actually getting us. If we had one more card type in the graveyard, we'd be able to do it. And there's no way to get one in there, right? Artifact, instant, land. Yeah, all right. Pass the turn. Yeah, the graveyard hate's actually saving our opponent at the moment, or we'd be able to traverse for the Yargle and win. Kind of hoping our opponent attacks with this hearse. Because if Reflections dies, that would be the missing card type. Opponent. We were pretty confident the way our opponent played that turn that they had Expressive Iteration on turn 3, so not a surprise to see it now. Oh, this is so close. I mean, I guess if we can get our opponent to tap the... How do we get them to tap the hearse? Finds a Ledger Shredder. One more card type in the graveyard. Ledger Shreds. Connives. I mean, we are going to die pretty quickly with these two Ledger Shredders. Discards an Unholy Heat. A Lightning Bolt. Well, let's crew. We lose the Reflection. All right, well, let's keep eating. Exile some cards. I mean, there isn't really any reason for our opponent to do it, right? Oh my god, they did it. Oh, that should do it. Oh my goodness, we actually got him to do it. I don't know how this worked, but it did. Oh, I guess it kind of depends on what we draw. We actually want to draw a land here. We only get a 50-50 shot, or like a 1-drop. Bobble, that works. So we get to play the Bobble. Traverse the Uvenwald. 4 card types. Opponent does get to do some shredding. About it. Discards a Bolt. Wow, I can't believe that we got that Unlicensed Search tapped. I was not expecting that to work. Traverse. Yargle. Cremator. G. Cremator, target you. Yargle, doing its job, and wow. Okay. I mean, if we can win one more somehow, run it back. This is our chance. You know what? Actually, let's go 1 Might, down 1 Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf is not impressing me against Graveyard Hate and Unholy Heat. Seems like a tough matchup for it. Well, this is it. This is our chance. Can we finish somehow, some way, with a 4-1 with Yargle, Jund, and Modern? We got to win this one game. Or every match we've played has been 3 games. They've all been incredibly close. They've all been super long. This has been a wild league. I mean, I guess that's the Jund way. I mean, the upside, I guess, is I was going to say Jund doesn't get easy wins, but we do sometimes get easy wins. Although we haven't really made Cremator Yargle look easy. It has required some very timely top decks, just weird stuff to happen. Not nearly as many like just, as Crim would say, face roll games as you might think with a 18 damage combo. I mean, we got the Bobble, which hopefully means we hit land number 2, Spirebluff Canal. And the Bolt means we don't die to Ragavan. We draw Cavern of Souls. Well, it's a land at least. Stomping Grounds. Bolt to Ragavan. And play a Bobble. Yeah, we'll just upkeep crack it. Pass the turn, crack the Bobble, see what our opponent's drawing. Gotta get that info. The info advantage. Monastery Swiftspear. All right, you know, that's a clock. Ledger Shredder. All right, well, we get to draw 2. Can we draw another Bolt? That would be good. So our land problem is lessening at least. Play the Mountain, play Unlicensed Hearse, pass the turn. I mean, we do have the Yargles in hand. If we can just draw into a Cremator, we might be able to steal this. I assume this Ledger Shredder is going to be triggered this turn. We know there's a Swift Spirit a minimum. Cracks it. I wonder if there's a world we just hardcast Yargles and win. Is that even possible? Seasoned Pyromancer. All right, well, not triggering the Ledger Shredder at least. So opponent, gonna do some looting. Discards. Wow, Spell Pierce and Swift Spear. And oh, wow. Okay, so our opponent is also going to trigger Ledger Shredder. All right, that was a good turn for our opponent. That was a very good turn. Okay, Fatal Push maybe. Or just the combo. All right, opponent gets a Bobble, so they get to redraw. Takes a peek at what we're drawing. We get smacked. Down to 16. Well, exile. Exile and exile. Untap. We also need a damage at some point. Wooded Foothills. Go. Yeah, let's see how good this endurance is. Doesn't actually stop a Ledger Shredder. Going to consider. And a hearse of their own. And connives. Opponent is down to 17, which is relevant. So opponent gets the hearse. Still, for it to really be relevant, we need to draw the Cremator. Attacks. Well, okay, so we will Wooded Foothills. Crack Wooded Foothills. Get a forest. Run out a endurance. Shuffle away your graveyard. Block the Seasoned Pyromancer. Yep. All right. Well, we have like 2-ish turns. Exile. Come on, deck. Show us that Cremator. Come on, Yargle. You can do it, Yargle. You can do it. Opponent taps. Sure. 1 card in hand. The only question is, can we find the Cremator before we die? Which is 2 turns from now. Come on, Yargle. Come on. Give us his 4-1. Give us his 4-1 with Yargle and Modern. So Lightning Bolt doesn't actually stop much of relevance. Okay, Verdant Catacombs, go. I don't even think Lightning Bolt buys us an additional turn here. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks. Do we bolt the Elemental? I don't think we're getting another turn either way. Yeah, the odds of us getting another turn are so low. I don't think we do. The top deck of the game coming right now. We drop to 5. 2 Yargles in hand. Opponent, Ledger Shredder. Doesn't really matter. It still all comes down to this top deck. Well, okay, we got to get the Bolt out of our hand. Bolt the Ledger Shredder. Come on, Magic Gods. Thin the deck. This is it. Can we draw the Cremator? If we do, we win the game when we go 4-1. If we don't, we lose the game and go 3-2. Huh, Yargle. One last time. Come on. Exile the Ledger Shredder. I'm sure our opponent learned their lesson after last game. With the Hearse untapped, Traverse Uvenwald not an out. It has to be literal Cremator. Yep. All right, opponent eats it away. Not enough card types. Okay, this is it. Come on. One last time. Oh, DRC. Wrong red creature. Well, okay, play the DRC. Cavern. On Shaman. Pass the turn. Oh, we're literally just dead, aren't we? This doesn't have flying at the moment. Is there any way our opponent can mess this up? I mean, all they gotta do is attack all, right? They don't know that we don't have removal. Death. Oh, where was the Cremator? Bloodstained Mire. DRC, Thoughtseize, yeah. Several cards down. I gotta say, look at this league. This was a bunch of incredibly long, every single time, 3-game matches where we finish with a 3-2, which I guess is the most Jundy thing possible. I mean, the deck worked. It did kind of work. I will say the combo itself was really good. Although I'm a little skeptical as to whether a traditional Jund shell or a Jund Traverse shell is the best home for it. So I want to mess around with this more because 18 damage is so game ending that I think the Yargle and Kragenwick Cremator combo, I think it actually has a lot of potential. I wonder though if it could be better in another shell, maybe a Eldritch Evolution style shell to play a bunch of creatures and use that to find the Kragenwick Cremator. There might be other options. Fauna Shaman could be an option. Because I will say the actual Jund shell, pretty meh. Like Tarmogoyf, we got to see it just getting wrecked by Urza Saga constructs. The Dragon Rage Channeler is an interesting way to dig, although we might be able to find an even better way to dig and find our pieces. So Traverse the Uvenwald is a little hit or miss. We saw it be really good sometimes, but then we also saw like Graveyard Hate be a problem. So I wonder if there's a better shell for this, especially since we never actually cast the Yargle and Multani. I think there was one game where we could have, and we didn't because we wanted to hold it in hopes that we drew a Kragenwick Cremator. So I don't know how often the casting of Yargle and Multani is actually going to be relevant. So I don't know if like having an actual Jund mana base to be able to cast Cremator and Yargle and Multani, I'm not sure how much that actually matters to our deck. So TLDR, combo good, combo super sweet, and wow, did we have some absurd top decks with this deck. Like, we definitely ran pretty hot in some of those cases. We were like about to die, knock the top of the deck, hit the Yargle or hit the Cremator. So it was really interesting games of Magic. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think? What shell would you play the combo in? Is there something better than a pretty very boomery style Jund deck for Yargle and Multani and Cremator. But anyway, let's open our treasure chest. We get a little snack for the kids today, and oh god, not even a snack. Although Ib Half-Art Goblin Tactician, at least it's funny. This is like almost an unset card. Time Spiral was such an interesting and awesome block. Horrible magic card. 4 mana 3/2. Whenever another goblin you control becomes blocked, sack it. Deals 4 damage to each creature blocking it. Sack 2 mountains. Create a 1/1 red goblin creature token. 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens. It's just so overcosted. I've never seen anyone play this card. And the thing is, you don't really want to sacrifice your goblins when they're blocked necessarily. That's, I guess the idea is it's going to help make your goblins unblockable, but you don't necessarily want to be forced to sacrifice them in all scenarios. So definitely a weird one, which I guess is Time Spiral for you. So anyway, wow, what a league. 3-2 Yargle, Cremate, Cremator in just one of the craziest, grindiest leagues that we've played in a long time. So that's Yargle in Modern. That's been our Much Improved for this week. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.